So like I said, anything raised to the 0 power is 1. A to the 0 is 1, 3 to the 0 is 1, 1/3 to the 0 is 1. And even if you have something in parentheses like y plus 2 to the 0, it is always has a value of 1. So it doesn't disappear, it becomes a 1. Now for negative exponents. We've already learned this, so we're just going to focus on it today. If you have a negative exponent, it must move to the opposite side of the fraction. So if it's up top, it's going to move to the bottom. All you do is remove the negative exponent. This has nothing to do with negative numbers. Do y'all understand? This is only negative exponents. Move it to the bottom, take the negative sign off. Are y'all good? Now if it looks like this, negative a to the negative n, then what's going to move to the bottom? This whole thing goes to the bottom. Am I going to take away both of the negatives? Only the exponent's negatives. So negative a to the n power. The negative number does not change. Do y'all understand that? That's the biggest confusion. When you move it to the bottom of the fraction, it removes the negative exponent. Good? Yes or no? If it's on the bottom of the fraction and it has a negative exponent, then it moves to the top and loses the exponent, the negative sign for the exponent. Are we okay? So how would I write 3 to the negative 2? 1 over 3 squared, or 1 over 9. Yes? How would I write negative 3 to the negative 2? 1 over negative 3 squared, which is 1 over 9, because negative 3 times negative 3 turns out to be positive 9. So this is the same thing as 1 over 9 with a positive value, because negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. All right, here we go. Examples. How would I write this? Done. Anything raised to the power of 0 is? Good? This one, I have to distribute this negative 2 to everything in parentheses. So 1 to the negative 2 over 5 to the negative 2. Since they both have negative exponents, this one's going to move to the bottom and this one's going to move to the top. So it's 5 squared over 1 squared, which is just 25 over 1, which is just 25. Are we okay? Yes or no? This one, 2 being raised to the negative 3, 3 being raised to the negative 3. So what's going to happen? Yep, so 3 to the third on top, 2 to the third on bottom. Now, before we do the next one, this is on your assignment, so you better be listening. I'm giving you the answer. Are y'all with me? Question. Can a fraction have a numerator of 0? No. What's a numerator? Can a fraction have a top number of 0? Yes. So everybody look. If I have 0 over 3, it just turns into what? 0. Can I have 0 as a denominator? No. So watch. If I have 3 over 0, you get an error. You cannot divide by 0. Everybody good? So where can 0 be? On the top. Where can it not be? All right. So I have 0 to the negative 5th power. So where is that going to go? The rule says a negative exponent gets moved to the... All right. Can you do that? So this is a no solution. You can't do it. Do y'all understand why? Okay. If it was a positive 5th power, you're good. It's just 0. Okay? All right. Anything raised to the power of 0 is? Now here's the difference. Everybody look at these two problems. They look a lot alike. But are they alike?
No.
This one, negative 5 is being raised to the power of 0. And this one, 5 is being raised to the power of 0, and the negative is being put on the answer. Do you see the difference? So anytime it's outside of the parentheses, just cover it up and put it in your final answer. So 5 to the 0 power is 1, but then we include this negative in our answer. Are we okay? Only if the negative is on the outside of the parentheses. All right, down here, look at these three problems. They look a lot alike, don't they? But they're different. This one, the negative is inside of the parentheses. So negative 12 is being raised to the negative 2. So I just move it to the, and I have negative 12 to the 2. The 12 does not lose its negative by moving to the bottom. The exponent loses its negative. Yes? All right, well, what is negative 12 times negative 12? Positive 144. Now, this one has a negative on the outside of the parentheses. So this is telling me at the end, whatever my answer is, it's going to get a negative sign. Okay, so cover it up and don't look at it till the end. I have to move this to the bottom because it has a negative exponent. Yes? What is negative 12 times negative 12? 1 over 144. And this negative will get put on my answer. And then this one, this negative will get put on my answer. This is 1 over 12 squared, which is negative 1 over 144. Okay, you'll want your highlighters at this point. Here we go. We're going to use all the rules that we've learned. So look at the first example. Are their bases the same?
Yes.
What is going on right here? Multiplication. When the bases are the same and they're being multiplied, the rule says to do what to the exponents? So I have 6 to the negative 4 plus 4. What is negative 4 plus 4? 0. And anything raised to the power of 0 is simply 1. All right, let's look at this one. This is power of a power. What am I going to do with these exponents? Multiply them. So 4 is going to go to the negative 4th power. Is that a good answer?
No.
So what am I going to do? 1 over 4 to the 4th. Yes, you could expand that, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, but because there's no exponents, no variables, we'll just leave it alone. This one, what do I do?
Put it on the top.
Put it on the top, 3 to the positive 4. All right. Do not let negative exponents scare you in the beginning of a problem. Deal with the problem itself, then in your final answer, get rid of the negative exponents. Make sense? Do I have bases that are the same? What does this mean right here? Division. So when I have bases that are the same and it's being divided, what do I do to the exponents? 5 to the negative 1 minus 2. What is negative 1 minus 2? No, it's not. Negative 3. So 1 over 5 to the 3rd. Good? The next one. Are the bases the same? Since it's being multiplied, what do I do to my exponents? Add add them. So I have negative 2 to the 5 plus negative 5.
What?
5 plus negative 5 is 0. Anything raised to the 0 power is 1. Okay? What am I going to do to these?
Multiply them.
So 3 to the negative 6 becomes 1 over 3 to the 6. Questions? Your assignment looks more like these. So don't freak out when we go to these hard ones on the back. This is just for us to do together for practice, okay? Here we go. We're going to challenge ourselves in a minute. The top are easy. All right. What do I do with this?
Put it on the top.
Put it on top. What do I do with this?
Put it on the bottom.
Put it on bottom. All right. Now we're going to get into the ones where we start to try to challenge ourselves. So I'm going to use my highlighter, and I'm going to highlight the ones with the same bases. If you want to be successful on challenging problems, you must show your work. That is the biggest thing I can tell you. To show my work, I draw a fraction bar, and I put everything on the top that I can combine. So 7 to the 3 minus 5, where is the x going to stay? Okay, then I go like this, equals, and I solve what I just did. 3 minus 5 is, so 7 to the negative 2 over x. I can pull it to the bottom. What will be on top? X does not go to the top. Why does x not go to the top? X has an exponent of 1. That's a positive exponent. It stays put. The only time you move them is when their exponent is negative. This is not negative. You all agree? So this goes to the bottom, and this stays on the bottom. What's going to go on top? 1. 1 over 7 squared x. Can I expand 7 squared? 1 over 49x. The next one. I must raise everything in parentheses to the what? So where students usually mess up on this is they forget that the 2 also gets raised to the third power. 2 to the third, x to the third, y to the negative 15. I must multiply them. What needs to be moved?
Negative 15.
The y. So 2 to the third, x to the third over y to the 15th. And then it loses its negative exponent. Can I expand 2 to the third? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Now we're going to get into the really fun ones. These are not on your assignment. Are y'all ready? Here we go. Take one step at a time. What do you think you have to deal with first? The parentheses. Yes? Everything in parentheses needs to be raised to the... All right, here we go. 2 to the negative 2, x to the negative 2, and now I'm just going to write everything else. Y to the 5th over negative 4, x squared, y squared. That wasn't hard, right? Now I'm going to highlight what can be combined. I don't want to deal with this negative exponent yet, so I'm just going to leave it alone. I'll deal with it in the end. All right, I'm going to show my work on the next step. So I'm going to make a fraction bar. All right, 2 to the negative 2 is just going to stay put. X to the negative 2 needs to be subtracted from this 2, right? x to the negative 2 minus 2. Now what? Y to the 5 minus 2. And what's going on with this? Where's it got to stay? At the bottom. Now I'm only going to solve what I did. This is showing work. Now I solve it. 2 to the negative 2. X to the, what is negative 2 minus 2? Y to the 5 minus 2 is? And I'm pretty much done. That is an answer. But I can't have negative exponents, so I just move stuff around. Right? Anything that's with a negative exponent is going to get moved to the opposite part of the fraction. Is this a negative exponent? So it's going to go to the, and the exponent is going to become positive. This is a negative exponent, so it's going to get moved to the, this is a positive exponent, so it stays on. Is this a positive exponent or a negative exponent? It's a negative number. Is the exponent negative or positive? Positive, so it stays on. And the only thing else I can do is multiply 2 squared times negative 4. What is 2 squared?
4.
What's 4 times negative 4? So I have y to the third over negative 16x to the 4. It really wasn't that bad. Try the first step on this one on your own. This is probably the hardest one. Try it. The first thing you should have done is highlight. So if you did that, you're on the right path. The next thing you do is draw a fraction bar to show your work. Everybody good? I am going to deal with these numbers later because they got negative exponents. I don't feel like dealing with them yet. If you want to deal with them now, that's fine. I don't. So I have 3 to the negative 3, x to the negative 2 minus 1, y to the negative 5 minus 1. This is going to stay on bottom, and this is going to stay on bottom. How'd we do? That's the hardest part. Now we just do our math. So here we go. 3 to the negative 3, x to the, what's negative 2 minus 1, y to the negative 5 minus 1, which is negative 6, over 2 to the negative 4, z. It's pretty much done. Now we just deal with our negative exponents. So all of these are going to go where? And this one's going to go to the, and this one's going to stay put because it's a positive exponent. If it's a positive exponent, it stays put. Yes? All right, so here we go. 2 to the 4th comes to the top. 3 to the 3rd, x to the 3rd, y to the 6th, z stays on bottom. And then I can expand 2 to the 4th and 3 to the 3rd. 2 to the 4th is 16. 3 to the 3rd is 27. And there's my answer. Now, honestly, I've never seen them that hard on the STAR test, on the EOC. They usually look like the 2 at the bottom. So try this one on your own and see if you can get it. It's really easy. Did everybody get this one? That's honestly probably the level of difficulty I've seen it on the STAR test. They're not super, super hard, but they're not super, super easy. Like they're kind of in the middle. All right, this one, 2 to the negative 4, x to the 8th, y to the 12th. Yes? So what's got to move to the bottom? 2 to the 4th. Which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. The assignment is easy. It's not, I don't have really hard ones at all. Like mostly they're so easy that you'll question yourself.
Oh, I love
You could probably finish it in class. I got it done in like 3 minutes. Put your name. Let's get going. Oops. Here we go. At the top, they really are this easy. Leave them as exponents. There's no variables at the top. So for number 1, you're simply going to put 1 over 3 to the 5th. That's your answer. Yes? Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, go to 13 through 24. With these, you can expand them because there's variables. And number 24, this number is a 1. We're not going to do 25, but we're going to do 26 and 27. For 26, it just wants you to plug the radius in and simplify it. Leave pi as pi, just simplify the expression. For 27, don't overthink it. It's literally just multiplication. It says 1 micrometer is 10 to the 3rd times the length of a nanometer. If a nanometer is 10 to the negative 9th, what is 1 micrometer? You're just going to multiply 10 to the 3rd times 10 to the negative 9, and then, of course, simplify your answer. So all of them, you're just pretty much multiplying. Okay, don't overthink it. Then when you go to the back, they are star problems. They're easy, super easy. All right, get busy.